Hey everyone, it's Dinah, and we are back with more of Marvel's She-Hulk Attorney at Law, this time on to episode number 4. Did that rhyme? I think that might have rhymed. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Ever so slightly, like law and 4, ever so slight rhyming. Either way, episode 4 of She-Hulk. So yeah, welcome back. Yeah, last time we had a pretty fun one. I think it's safe to say we had a pretty fun one last time. We had what's it called, like Runa and Dennis in the courtroom, because Runa transformed into the one and the only, and even in the MCU, the one and the only, as they so clarified with the woman herself, Megan Thee Stallion. So she can impersonate pretty much everyone because she has like shape-shifting techniques and everything. So and in the end, I think that did not really win her any favors in court either, because then she tried to impersonate the judge and then tried to get the things in her favor and everything, so that kind of cost her and everything. But yeah, but I think she was someone, she transformed into Megan Thee Stallion and then duped kind of duped Dennis into a relationship and everything. But then the overall kind of verdict on both Pug and Jennifer's side in the end there was that Dennis is just, is delusional enough of a man and full enough of himself as Dennis to really think that he actually has a chance and like a shot at an actual legitimate kind of relationship with someone like Megan Thee Stallion. So yeah, so I think he's still got like damage kind of settlement stuff in the end too. But then I think her biggest cost being impersonating a judge, which actually got her kind of punished as well. So I can't remember exactly what kind of sentence they gave her. I think I don't know if they actually sentenced her to some kind of enhancement prison or something. But either way, Dennis got the payments and everything, and then so yeah, Megan Thee Stallion, the cameo that really kind of shook the viewers after that episode. I think I don't know, I feel like some people had like somewhat divisive kind of reactions to that and everything. I think for the most part, I think people did kind of take it in stride and just kind of enjoy it for what it was. And I think it was great. I loved it personally. I think it's exactly the level and the type of humor that really kind of shined within the show and shined within the episode. And it just felt really fun to watch. So and I think personally, I think even up until then, I think I hadn't really kind of listened to much, if at all, of any of Megan Thee Stallion's music. But then I did give that the end credit song a kind of personal listen to, and it's actually pretty fun. It's a pretty fun song. So I'm sure there are more kind of ways to describe her music. But either way, Megan Thee Stallion is now officially in the MCU as herself too. She didn't play like another superhero or like another character or anything. She played literally herself. Like, that was the whole point, kind of, within the story. So yeah, that was great. And then I think we had like 3 different cameos with her. Once in the phone when Pug was watching the shapeshifting video, and then the second time in the courtroom, and then in the third time, the post-credit scene of her and She-Hulk just kind of dancing and twerking away in peace and everything in her office. So that one was absolutely absolutely. So yeah, I loved it. I don't care what anyone else says. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it fit in really well, and yeah, that's pretty much all I need. So yeah, so that was cool. Megan Thee Stallion showed up, and she wasn't the only one either. She didn't bring him with her, but then also added to that, for finally kind of reintroduced and added to the show too, was Wong. And Wong came in for also equally kind of relevant reasons too, because like alongside the Runa and Dennis case was also the kind of Blonsky versus pretty much the people of kind of New York and everything case. So Wong had to be brought in to prove that he actually did force Emil to leave in order to fight in the actual ring, because then Wong needed to complete his training as Sorcerer Supreme, and so he needed Blonsky. So then he kind of forced him out of prison, and then once it was over and done with, Blonsky then actually kind of asked him to return him peacefully to prison, so that he could actually serve out a sentence. So then it's true. I think the entire episode, like by the end of the episode, we pretty much kind of were shown that we were shown that Blonsky actually has changed, and he's rehabilitated and transformed into a whole new man and everything. I think even as Abomination, he now has control. As Abomination, he actually now has full control over his mind and body, and he actually can still transform and everything, but then he's still Blonsky under all that and everything, and then stuff still stays the same. So it was really cool. So I think by the end of it, even he earned his freedom with like a parole with power inhibitors too. So I think they were going to give him inhibitors that actually kind of help either prevent or slow down his powers, and he couldn't actually turn into Abomination while he was on parole. So we'll see exactly how that goes. But he does have plans, and those plans don't specifically require turning into an Abomination for any reason. So he has plans. He owns a plot of land, and his 7 soulmates, who we actually saw in the last episode too, have actually kind of ever so thoughtfully agreed to finance like a spiritual spa of some kind that he actually wants to build on said land. So he has plans. He I think probably like a retirement plan or something, actually helping other people find rehab and find transformation through anger management or whatever. So we'll see exactly how it goes. So yeah, I mean, I think with her first kind of case having gone that well, I feel like I'm kind of wondering if that might give her the confidence to actually pick up more superhero cases or more kind of enhanced people cases and actually kind of allow her to. I mean, because I mean, to be fair, I think being the face of the superhuman law division, I feel like that's pretty much going to be all she deals with. But then now going forward, knowing the Blonsky of all people was actually a success, and actually kind of like she actually helped him earn his freedom, and actually kind of got him on the path to carving out a better future for himself too. I think maybe hopefully that might give her more confidence to deal with other superhuman people, and actually give her some strength in actually dealing with those kinds of issues, and actually kind of allowing her to explore and enhance to kind of people and stories from all walks of life and stuff, and defending people too. So I guess we'll see how it goes. So it should be interesting. But there was that, and then I think the one at the end too. I think I didn't immediately catch on to this. Watching the episode, but then I think back to editing, I think because then the name Thunderball did keep ringing a bell to me, and I couldn't tell why. And then I actually googled it, and I was like, oh, it's the Wrecking Crew. I remember those guys. They were one of the villains. I mean, for me, my first experience encountering them in kind of Marvel kind of entertainment was actually the Wrecking Crew were one of the villains you face in Ultimate Alliance. I used to play that game so much on the Wii, and on the Wii of all consoles probably, but I mean probably out on like 360 and PS2 as well, but I think I played it on the Wii. I used to play that. I played that game probably a dozen times over just to get like different collectibles and unlock different heroes and stuff. I think the heroes you can unlock in that game were just, oh my god. I think never really. I think I played like a quarter of 2, but never really fully got into it or around to it or anything. So, and then I think a third one was actually just released on the Switch. So, and I don't have a Switch. So, yeah. But that first one is just one of the best Marvel games I've ever played. Really wish that they would actually kind of go back and do like a remaster. I feel like that is one game I actually would absolutely love, like an actual remaster too. So don't know if they might. I mean, the fact that they did 3 kind of. I mean, the fact that they did 3 kind of shows that they can make new kind of games around that concept and idea. So maybe Ultimate Alliance 1. I feel like has unarguably been the most kind of positively received of the kind of series and everything. So could definitely do with a remaster. It would definitely be fun to actually try and tackle that as well. But they were in that, and I think they actually had like a similar kind of background too, like them being kind of normal human kind of thugs and everything, who actually transformed into godlike beings after having acquired Asgardian weaponry and everything. So I think in that one they did actually transform, and then actually kind of did get bigger and bulkier and more godlike and everything, even in appearance and everything. So I think in that one, I think it was like, because then the one guy called the other kid Thunderballs. I think that one is one of them. I think then Pile Driver, and I think Bulldozer, and I think the Wrecker too. I did actually Google them afterwards too to actually make sure that I actually knew their names. I think Thunderballs sounded so familiar, and then the rest just kind of came through Google. So the Wrecking Crew. I think even this one, I think they did kind of confess to actually having kind of stolen kind of tools and weapons off of like an Asgardian construction worker. So already kind of setting them up to be the villains they're supposed to be. So I'm really kind of hoping to see more of them and see where they get taken in this too. But I think in Ultimate Alliance they were part of Doctor Doom's Masters of Evil, I believe it was called. Because in that game, like the main storyline was that Doctor Doom actually kind of crafted this new team of supervillains. I'm pretty sure it was called the Masters of Evil. Like him, Loki, Enchantress, Ultron, like all of them is like their own little kind of very evil foursome and everything. So, and I think he just kind of contracted villains from all around like the kind of comics kind of universe and everything to do shit and to fuck up your team and everything. So yeah, I think the Wrecking Crew are part of it. I think that they are actually in like the Asgardian kind of 9 realms kind of level that you play and everything. So such a good game, such a good game. But yeah, now they're here. I think in this one they also do have a boss too. I think a boss that that supposedly sent them to actually to extract a sample of She-Hulk's blood. I think Thunderbolt had like a needle or a syringe or something, and he tried to jab She-Hulk with it, and then it snapped and everything. So yeah, and then I think don't know if the Wrecker was the driver or something, but the other one said, you know, boss ain't gonna be pleased about that. So they do actually have someone in charge of this. So definitely raises questions as to who it is and why they want She-Hulk's blood and what they want to do with it and everything. So yeah, I think it makes sense. I think right now she also is really the only kind of Hulk on Earth right now. Like Bruce is out, Booker is going back to Sakaar and everything, so he can't really do anything. So she is the only one. I think that does also kind of make her somewhat kind of like that much more vulnerable and everything too. So I guess we'll see exactly where that leads. Like if they come back for round 2, maybe if they come back with reinforcements or something. So I don't know, but I guess we'll see. So yeah, the Wrecking Crew, they made an appearance. So yeah, and yeah, I think we had some kind of social media involvement too with with Marvel kind of like a showcasing all the kind of toxicity that somehow exists even in the MCU too, like just, you know, man babies whining about female superheroes and feminism and all that kind of stuff that we've even had countless times in response to women and minority castings for superheroes in the real world too. So that actually happened in the MCU as well, so that was a thing. And then I think just social media in general, like just kind of being really kind of involved in the series as a whole, I think they're doing it. They do seem to be doing it so far in like a kind of well influenced kind of way too. Like it's not just them throwing social media and like Gen Z culture into the mix just for the fun of it, but it's actually kind of showcasing how the world is reacting to the appearance of this new kind of Hulk kind of being and everything. And I think Jennifer having to actually deal with this newfound kind of popularity, the popularity that she never asked for or anything. So it's interesting to see where this all leads and how it kind of affects her and how it revolves around her and everything. So yeah, should be fun to see how that kind of continues. So yeah. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have from the last one. So on to episode number 4 of She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. Let's go.
The great Donny Blaze needs assistance.
Donny Blaze? Really? Donny Blaze?
Round of applause.
Donny Blaze?
Madisynn with 2 N's, 1 Y, but it's not where you think.
Madisynn.
As the great Billy Shears once said,
Donny Blaze!
Donny Blaze. Could they not get Johnny? Dude, could they really not get Johnny?
try something with a little more heat.
Is your skull gonna explode? Oh, a sling ring! He's got a sling ring! Can he actually make rings though? Oh, he can make rings. Oh, he can make rings. Oh, jeez. Where's this? Whoa, oh, Madisynn! Whoa! What, is that her?
Where am I? Who are you?
Is he watching The Sopranos?
No, I'm not. Where did you come from, miss?
This is the one where they kill Adriana. It was so sad.
You just ruined that.
Spoilers, Madisynn.
Donny Blaze is going to pay for this.
Donny Blaze.
You look happy.
Oh, that's a great morning look. That is a really great morning look.
Giving the show Twitter armor for a week.
Good morning.
What's the shovel for?
Digging holes.
Digging up them holes.
I didn't do any of this.
You didn't call them? Are you serious, Jen?
I was a prosecutor long enough to know that.
Can't say I fully blame her.
What if they come back?
That is a long day. Coffee with Pug and Nikki. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Oh, she's dating. Oh, she's dating. She's dating on Matcha. Oh, she's dating as Jennifer Walters and not as She-Hulk. Okay.
Donny Blaze, former student of the Mystic Arts, but he was
Oh,
kicked out after a
so he's
week
an actual
when he
former
sold 3 kegs and his former fraternity brother Kai-Dog to Kamar-Taj.
Oh, so he actually used to be a student under the thing. Okay.
Here in Los Angeles, sending volunteers into other realms for casual fun. He barely
Isn't
had
that
a
really
flight
dangerous too?
Interdimensional students pledged themselves to be loyal servants of the Mystic Arts.
And did you get that in writing?
There's no legal thing that he has to.
We answer to a
No judge is going to take this seriously unless we do things by the book.
book of Ashanti.
No, the book of American law.
The magic of the American justice system. Wong, he has a freaking card.
Cheap.
See, that's a good card trick. Yeah, no offense to Jimmy Woo, but that is a good card trick. That is a damn good card trick. If only he did the flicking between the fingers thing, and then it did the, yeah.
Can I buy you sexy ladies a round of drinks?
Okay,
No,
sir,
you may
we're
not.
clearly in the middle of work here.
When you change your mind, I'll be at the bar.
You're gonna be there for a long time.
See, that guy's exactly. Okay. Oh my God, are you swiping?
Is she she's swiping.
Come on, it's a numbers game, all right? After about 500 swipes, you're gonna get about a third of those
500
matches,
swipes?
and that's when the real filtering happens. Oof. Hetero life is grim. Yes, I am. Come on. What if you
Oh,
were the
I
profile?
love Nikki. I love her so much.
I thought you hated the name She-Hulk.
I do, but I don't know. I can't stop saying it. It's really catchy.
She-Hulk.
No, if I'm gonna
The
date, it's gonna be
sensational She-Hulk. Try as that, yeah.
What cease and desist? Fantastic.
Yeah, it's sticking out of your shirt.
No, it isn't.
All right, we will see you, gentlemen.
Oh my gosh. You know, I hate that I didn't even notice it until he actually pushed it back in. You have one new match. America's ass.
And that's how I got a lifetime ban from Winnipeg, Canada. Anyway,
Oh, this is the date.
everyone here is so phony.
Oh, this
See,
is
I'm
the
a New
date.
Yorker. But I decided I couldn't just be a yes man to some stiff boss, you know? That's why I'm an entrepreneur.
Oh, in what field?
TBD.
Oh boy, this was the match.
So what do you do?
I just started at a firm downtown, GLK&H.
Yeah, I know downtown.
Oh gosh.
I'm running a superhuman law division. I'm a Hulk. I can lift a full-size sedan with one hand.
Okay. This has been so great.
Yeah, it really has.
Just cut your losses. Oh, the check. Oh, the check. Don't tell me he's gonna leave her to pay for all of it after that shit show.
All right. Thank you so much for the drinks.
Yeah,
Oh, he didn't
We
even
should do this
bother.
again.
there's an idea.
This is Alan.
Nikki was right. Hetero life is grim.
And a motion for
Gosh.
preliminary injunction
I mean, who wouldn't want to date Jennifer though? She's perfectly amazing. Jennifer Walters, come on.
Show you my high school dance
Oh,
routine
shit.
right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Wongers!
Wongers.
Did you get a ticket for texting? Texting 911, they can't prosecute.
That isn't what this
Okay.
is, and that's not true.
Yeah. Wongers. I'm gonna remember that forever. Wongers. Wongers.
You can finish it if you want. I'm not sick. I promise to tell it. Yes. Madison is with 2 N's, 1 Y, but it's
Not what you think. Yeah.
Could you just spell it for us?
Madisynn.
Could you tell
She's
us
not
about
wrong,
the
it
night
is 2
you
N's and a Y.
participated in
They're
Donny
not what you
Blaze's
think.
show?
Oh, sure. So first he gave me roses that didn't smell
Oh,
like
it's the.
anything.
I just got it. I just got it. Yeah.
I made a pact with a demon that I cannot discuss.
Mephisto? I really don't want to say it.
Reap my soul and the souls of all
Mephisto?
I love, which honestly is so dramatic, and I hate drama.
Is this how they're putting a Mephisto?
At first it was fun, then scary, then fun again, then spooky, but in a fun way.
This is very different because the mystic arts is, in fact, real magic.
It's sorcery.
How
It's
dare
sorcery.
you, real magic.
Oh, God.
Can you believe your eyes? Has the ability to cause a ripple so great it reverberates through every dimension. And that ripple through galaxies has the ability to destroy all life within the known an unknown universe.
Is he talking generally or specifically?
Blaze, cool.
My art, mi passion.
Magic!
Stop throwing smoke bombs. Security anyway.
The only other magic he really has is a sling ring. That's it.
Aw. I have to agree with Mr. Blaze.
Oh,
He
for
may
fuck's.
continue to practice his livelihood pending my decision. Court is adjourned.
Oh, so she still has to make a decision then. Okay, so up until then.
I also have a bird. Can we send Donny to the mirror dimension? He probably won't even.
Wongers, can we get froyo?
No.
Oh,
Talk about The
Wongers.
Sopranos.
Fine. No more spoilers.
Wongers. No more
Whatever. I
spoilers.
was over it after Tony killed Christopher. What? It was like a son to him. It was
Oh, Madisynn. Oh gosh.
Nikki, I'm
No new. Wow. Why would they send you a notification? Why is that notification? No new alert. Just Matcha being like, yeah, hey, your
I'm not proud of
dating life is still super duper grim. Oh damn! So now she's swiping with confidence. 13, 14. Wow, it's just matching and matching. Yeah. People want to date. Well, men want to date the She-Hulk, but not denying that people want to date the She-Hulk too.
How much can you deadlift?
a literal ton.
Well, I just did 600. I'm not even a superhero.
My movie just premiered at Sundance. It was actually about a lawyer. His expertise is constitutional law.
I have to admit I was a fan before we matched. I mean, your battle with Titania in court, it was incredible.
People love using that word around me.
What a specimen.
Did you just call me a specimen?
As a compliment.
I'm a pediatric oncologist.
Damn, that's a couple of good titles.
Tell me about you.
There's a first.
Also, should we split some fries?
Let's get those to go.
To go. Oh, a bird. Whoa. He used a sling ring that time, right? He actually did use a sling ring that time. Or be just teleporting a bird in from somewhere. Is that a bird? No, it's a fucking gremlin. It's a fucking gremlin! Oh, jeez. What the fuck has Donny Blaze done? Oh, whoa. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I took the bird with it. Oh, we took the bird with it. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. You didn't close the portal? Oh, Christ on a cracker. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh.
Wong! My main man!
Call my lawyer.
Yeah, call She-Hulk.
the lobby, in
Oh,
front of
no.
everyone.
Okay.
I had to
Might
change
not be the best time.
So embarrassing. Oh my god.
Oh.
my god.
Okay. Oh, is this the classic wine on the shirt trick? And then he takes off his clothes and then.
Shit, I got it on your couch too. Just
Oh, okay.
where'd my shirt go?
Miss Walters, why ain't you answering your mobile phone?
Never mind, I see.
Wong, what is it?
Donny Blaze opened the wrong portal. I need your help.
I'm not sure exactly what I'm supposed to be doing here.
Be a Hulk!
Yeah, be a sensational Hulk. Oh, gosh. Where are they coming? This is some kind of portal to hell, right? Tell me this is Mephisto's realm at least. This looks like something Mephisto would conjure up. Oh, that is real magic. That is sorcery supremacy. Yeah, from the Sorcerer
So many bad
Supreme.
dates. I finally meet a guy who speaks and listens. Is very, very hot. Not that that matters, but it does.
Oh, it's nice and somewhat ideal to find your partners attractive and everything.
Hot face right now. They're covered in demon goop.
Oh, like a funnel. But I'm making like a funnel, yeah, so suck them all in, yeah.
I was wondering if you would agree to the terms of our cease and desist.
It's in your best interest, yeah.
Okay, we agree.
My office will be in touch.
Great. Bad Feminist by Roxanne Gate. Oh, okay, that's cool. Wow, that's even cooler. God, when can something like that happen to me? Know what this was? Heaven is a place on earth.
Who are you?
Oh, because she transformed back.
Not in Hulk form. Just Jen.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is he no longer into her because she's not She-Hulk?
Unexpected.
Don't tell me that's the
I made
twist.
breakfast.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Oh, he was only
Don't worry
in.
about the sweater.
He was on.
Whatever. Hot doctor's a cliche anyway.
She's suing you for misuse of a trademark.
A trademark?
Misuse of a trademark? What trademark?
She-Hulk?
The name She-Hulk? But that's
How the hell does she own
She
that?
trademarked it first, right?
Oh, is that how it works, Your Honor?
Yeah.
Get it.
Oh, sorry.
How the fuck did she How the fuck did she trademark it first?
Kind of a bummer way to end this episode.
Oh gosh, how the fuck did she did she trademark She-Hulk first? She-Hulk is anything because Jennifer transformed into She-Hulk. God. Oh, there's more Soprano stuff.
Longers, have you ever had
Oh,
tequila?
Wongers.
I think so.
Long Island iced tea?
Madisynn and Wongers, the new duo to die for.
Just vodka straight?
No, I had
Goldschlagers?
vodka and yak milk. Never again.
Vodka and
Do you
milk.
have any of that here?
Gin and tonic.
Longers! Wow. I don't know if they do bottomless gin and tonic, but we will find it.
Okay.
Wongers and Madisynn, the new duo to die for. That's great. That is really super duper great. That's pretty damn great. If I can get this if I can get these off without pulling my hair along with it, I will be eternally grateful. Oh, I did it. I'm eternally grateful. So yeah, that was cool. That was a cool 4th episode. Yeah, I mean, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it really, like, if people are going to be judging this along with the other shows and along with the kind of 4th episode trend, I think it might not match up to everyone's expectations, but you know what, for me, it was still great. I think, regardless of whether or not, like, the 4th episode, I mean, the 4th episode trend is a thing, but then, regardless of whether or not it actually lives up to those, or if even joins that kind of lineup, this was still a great 4th episode for me, and it was still a great kind of episode that I enjoyed in general, so that much is enough for me. That much is enough. So that was cool. But yeah, we had Donny Blaze. I feel like with Donny Blaze and the deal-making demon and the hell dimension and the stuff that the you know, I think they just, I mean, I feel like it, but then on the other hand, I also feel like it's also going to be a case of like, well, you kind of you made those guesses for yourself, you set those expectations up for yourself, so you only have yourself to them. But I mean, you know, with me, it's just, I think I genuinely was not expecting or even anticipating Mephisto or anything related to that to show up at any point. I was just literally just throwing names out there, not even to see what would stick. I was literally just throwing names out there just for the fun of it, because I think at this point, Mephisto's involvement in various projects has been rumored and kind of hinted at by fans so much that I feel like it's kind of the rumor and the tease alone has pretty much lost all meaning for me. So until Marvel themselves decides to do something about it, I'm just gonna sit back and maybe make some jokes like I did, but then other than that, I'm just gonna sit back and see what happens. If and when Mephisto comes, he will come. So yeah, you know, Mephisto will come to those who wait. So yeah, but I mean, it was. I think I feel like they really could not have been more on the nose with Donny Blaze if they tried. Like Donny Blaze, and even as like I mean, Johnny Blaze doesn't have long hair, but he has the long hair. He has like the whole leather jacket look going on at times and everything. He looks like he could be a biker too. He looks like he could be a biker. He does. I think I'm not sure if it is exactly the same actor, but I think he does remind me of one of the guys who played the Saviors on The Walking Dead. Like after Negan's group were defeated and some of the Saviors actually migrated over to the Survivor side, but then some Saviors still remained loyal to Negan and his regime, and they still remain kind of antagonistic towards the survivors and everything. So I think, I don't know if it's the same actor, but I think he definitely does remind me of one of those saviors, so there's that. I mean, I feel like given that he is a magician too, it could also be a stage name. I think magicians very kind of commonly and very naturally go with stage names. So I think even for John, I think for Johnny Blaze, I think, well, wasn't that stage name for him too? I think didn't he have like an entirely different kind of birth name, and then Johnny Blaze was actually his more marketable persona and more marketable kind of stage name thing for him. So I don't know, but I think Donny Blaze could easily be like an actual stage name for him. But then they never really referenced it as a stage name, and they also never referenced him as anything else. So they only ever called him Donny Blaze as if that was his name by origins already. So either that or it's a stage name. So but yeah, he was a former student turned somewhat kind of illegitimate kind of magician. I think classic, and I think it's really fun. It's really fun and funny to think that in a world so full of actual mind-boggling multiversal sorcerers like Wong and Strange, genuine street magic like card tricks and making shit disappear and everything, that kind of stuff would so quickly go out of fashion and so quickly fizzle out of popularity and interest and everything. Like if you saw Doctor Strange and Wong doing the kind of shit they do, like that is the kind of magic you'd want to see. That is actively the kind of magic you'd want to see for the rest of your life. Like if you want to see, because then you'd be convinced from that point on. Because then that is magic that you can't just kind of wave away as illusion or hand tricks or anything. It is hand tricks, but then it's actually energy being drawn from reality to conjure up different things and do different things and everything. So you can't make a portal with card tricks. A sling ring is exclusive to actual magicians who have trained and know how to open a portal, which Johnny had. So does Johnny have a brother in the comics? I feel like he already might do, but I don't know if it's actually Donny or if it's going to be someone else. But I think maybe for the sake of like an MCU adaptation, I feel like they might just try and throw the red herring of like Donny being Johnny's brother, and maybe he might make like a passing mention of like a brother who was a motorcyclist or something who got caught in an accident, or like a brother who died. And I feel like regardless of really kind of who they cast to play Johnny in the MCU, I feel like starting off with his brother who looked eerily like him and who could actually kind of pass off with like a similar aesthetic, I feel like that could actually work and everything. I think especially with Donny having access to other dimensions and other kind of realms and everything, and even him presumably sending people to hell using the sling ring, I feel like that could easily be like an actual kind of a passing kind of link between them too. Like Johnny is the kind of the collector of the deals made by Mephisto and the purger of darkness and the spirit of vengeance and everything. He's that, but then his brother is like a lesser known kind of like a half-assed magician who can barely open a portal to hell and everything. So I feel like it could maybe kind of work and everything. So I don't know, but they featured him enough in this one episode, I feel like, to actually kind of showcased him in enough of a light to kind of actually show that like maybe whatever verdict they come to might actually enlighten him enough to actually learn the mystic arts properly this time, and maybe he actually might come back with some more useful skills and more honed skills and everything. So maybe he can actually prove useful, and then maybe he could actually link them up with his brother, who turns out to be surprise Johnny Ketch and everything. So I don't know, it just seems like maybe a worthwhile theory, but I don't know, I guess we'll see. The misuse of magic, and also like that resulting in civilian endangerment when, Donny is actually sending all of his assistants through all sorts of different dimensions, and they end up being lost and having to find their way back. That happened. I mean, the only person we actually actively saw that happening to was, of course, Madisynn, but then the others were still kind of shown portals to other worlds, and they were like, yeah, I'm not going to go through it. It doesn't look like the safest kind of place on the other side of that, so I don't really think I want to go through there and everything. So, and he demonstrated little to no ability to actually get them back safely in one piece. So, making them disappear to a box or like a wardrobe or a cupboard or whatever is the actual sleight of hand kind of magic that people use in the real world is unarguably safer than literally having to force them into through like a ring portal into another dimension and everything. So yeah, I think Madisynn kind of showing up in Wong's kind of place. I think she showed up with what looked like a heart. It looked like an organ at first, and I couldn't tell what organ it was, and then it actually looked kind of big enough and heart shaped and everything. So Mephisto is not going to get sued, because I think that being interesting, like Mephisto uses contracts. He actively writes up contracts for all the deals he makes, but Jennifer told Wong that he couldn't like properly sue Donny the way that he wanted, because Donny, being a student of the mystic arts and everything at Kamar-Taj, was never actually drawn up on paper. It was never actually, there was no written record. He was just taken in and taught magic to an extent, and then he presumably dropped out or something. So, you know, Mephisto, I think I'm pretty sure like Mephisto would actually be easier to sue. If it came to it, Mephisto would be easier to bring a lawsuit to than Wong, and that blows my mind. It is quite possibly easier to sue a demon in this universe than it is to sue like an actual sorcerer. That is actually the thought of that blows my mind. Yeah, the thought that actually blows my mind, because then the people who are actually legitimately teaching magic for safety and mastery purposes and for the purpose of actually using magic to protect the world, they can't like actually sue each other or actually bring lawsuits to the front in like a proper legitimate way. But then you could probably actually sue Mephisto, like if he did screw you over, which he likely would, then you could actually, like, his contracts are written in paper, so you could actually, and I think signed in like blood and shit too, so you could probably quite possibly sue him more than the sorcerer. That is, again, that blows my mind. So I think it definitely kind of had more to do with Donny being reckless and careless with the magic too, like him just randomly spawning portals to God knows where. Because I think, I'm pretty sure even he didn't. Because I think his like him not using other magic. Because I think we've seen Strange using all sorts of different all different kinds of magic tricks and sorcery in battle and everything. So we know that a lot more than sling ring portals are possible with sorcery. But then Donny only ever actually uses portals, and even then, like, his is kind of rusty too. So then, even then it's like with him, he knows, like, it seems like he not only doesn't know many other magic tricks, but then he also knows like the bare essentials of actually opening up a sling portal. Because then I remember in the first Strange movie, I'm pretty sure like the Ancient One told Strange, like, you have to clearly and crystal clearly like visualize exactly where you want to go to open a successful portal and keep it open and everything. So he did. I think towards the end, I think he did manage to open portals a bit more efficiently and actually keep them open and everything, much to their detriment and everything. But yeah, I think for the most part, I think he not only didn't really fully know a lot of like sorcery, but then he also like didn't really know how to use it in like an actual safe and secure kind of way, and that ended up actually endangering people. So then, yeah, just I think that being the main problem too, like not even like people kind of being like people being sent through, but then people being sent through in like a really dangerous and really kind of deadly kind of way, and then this guy and his boss kind of both exploiting the use of the mystic arts and everything, actually exploiting the mystic arts and using that to earn money, but then also actually putting people's lives in danger in the same way too. I think that was what kind of annoyed kind of Wong the most too. Like, people were being used for this, and people were volunteering themselves to do it, thinking they would actually work and it would be cool, but then in the end they just kind of get sent to another dimension. He can't get in the back, and then Madisynn was the only one that went through, but then she also managed to make a deal from the other side to get back home as well. So I mean, I'll go get to that in a minute, but she actually made a deal and everything. So then she's the only one that we know of and that we saw that actually went through and actually managed to get back and everything. So, but it also does kind of surprise me that the court in the end, I mean, they were swayed by the magic tricks he used anyway, even though those weren't specifically mystic art ones and more just kind of classic magic tricks that you just kind of see even in the real world. But, to be fair, they did say there's yet to be a kind of more kind of firm and cemented decision made by the judge in the future, but then until then they can keep using magic. So there was that, but then it's like how easily they were swayed into making that decision. Maybe I think actually kind of surprised me, because I think they've all like when it comes to advanced technology and even alien technology too, I think which would also count as advanced too. I think when it comes to that kind of stuff, I think they've and also even people having powers too, they've never been afraid to be strict or be kind of really firm on those rules. Like, if you have powers, you need to have inhibitors. Like even with Blonsky, they're like his court case went well and he got parole, but then not without the condition of wearing power inhibitors and everything. So it's like when it comes to power, when it comes to tech and everything, they take it they take it off the streets and into damage control and even into like vaults and stuff to secure it and everything. people with powers are either hunted or controlled or just whatever to make sure that stuff doesn't go out of control. But then apparently with magic also counting as a power in this universe, presumably too, I think magic somehow, at least for the time being, actually gets a pass because it looks aesthetic and it looks cool and everything. So, you know, like, that's enough to actually impress the courts and judges. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we're really kind of meant to kind of analyze into that too much, or if we're not really meant to take it too seriously. I think maybe them wanting to take some time to actually, because I think even though it was like Wong, it was also Wong claiming that this wasn't real magic, and that they were passing off the mystic arts as something to be trifled with, or like something to be not taken seriously. Like they were using the mystic arts as a way to entertain people, when it's actually about like actually kind of using that kind of power to stop threats and to fight threats and to protect the world, and to say and it's something to be taken seriously. And it's like they were actively kind of opening portals to God knows where, sending innocent people through them and not knowing what would happen. So then like him being like, you know, like they're actually abusing and exploiting this kind of power to no ends and everything, and it's really dangerous and it needs to be monitored and controlled and everything. And like the mystic arts is something that you go into with the intent of learning it and mastering it and learning how to control yourself when you use it and everything. So that was his kind of main issue too. So I feel like had they kind of been able to use those powers a bit more in like a more qualified way that didn't put people's lives at risk, then he probably really wouldn't have actually cared as much. It would be like, okay, well, they're qualified, they complete their training, they've, you know, learned as much as they can or want to, and they know the risks and they know how to use it properly. So then, you know, because I think even the first Strange movie, again, the first Strange movie showed us that there were people, at least like the one guy who led Strange to Kamar-Taj was actually someone who actually studied there before, but then used that power to heal himself, and then he went back to his normal life. So he never went on to become like a sorcerer or like a sorcerer supreme or whatever. He just used magic to heal himself and then went back, and then he guided Strange there. So there likely have been other people too who have actually found out about Kamar-Taj and magic and use that power to fulfill something in their personal life and or professional life, and then they've moved on and done other stuff and everything. So they're okay with it, so long as you actually, you know, then actually do use it, you know, reasonably, and actually do use it well, and actually use it and don't use it sparingly, and especially don't actually endanger other people's lives with it. But I think now, difference maybe being now because of Doctor Strange and his involvement with the Avengers and saving the world and everything, maybe magic in that way is actually more kind of well known and well regarded, so in that way people who actually people who have actually trained at Kamar-Taj also maybe feel more comfortable using it in public now. So maybe that's how Donny kind of came across maybe that's how Donny kind of came out with this too. So maybe he actually used to be just like a regular street magician, but then he actually learned about magic and what Doctor Strange uses, so he went to Kamar-Taj. But then maybe that's why he came into magic too. Maybe he didn't actually want to be a sorcerer, or like maybe he didn't even want to protect the world, but he just wanted to actually up his game and be a more advanced kind of magician and everything. So I mean, I think assuming they actually come back to this, because of the court like not having reached like a final decision yet, I'm assuming the case is still open and they might come back to this. So we'll see exactly what kind of decision they reach, and if they make it so that like it would be funny it would be funny and also kind of interesting if this actually led to Kamar-Taj turning into some kind of like a university or something, or like a college or something, and then mystic arts actually being like a possible thing, because then I think Wong's argument would be like, if you were going to use this magic, you need to learn and you need to actually kind of study this and actually know how to use it properly. And then the course are like, okay, in that case, let's turn half of Kamar-Taj into like, I mean, they do already have like classes there, they do already have like some semblance of like an academia there, but then it's just not like you don't really kind of like pay an admissions fee or pay, God forbid, pay college tuition or anything like that. You don't have to actively pay any money at all to actually do it. So then oh my God, if the US government actually tries to control Kamar-Taj and tries to control the mystic arts, God, they're gonna fucking capitalize off of that shit. So, but then I feel like with Wong being Sorcerer Supreme, it would also kind of be up to him too, because then he'd be encouraged learning it. But then I don't really know if he'd be up for actually allowing the US government to actually kind of inflict their own educational kind of system onto it too, and make it, because then that would, look, they're thinking about the way the system is now today as well, and how it's been for the past like God knows how many years. I feel like that would just make it even harder for people to actually kind of go into it too, because then the student loan debt from that just because I mean everything it has, it comes from itself. Like it doesn't really kind of outsource any stuff to anyone else. It doesn't really kind of, you know, it is its own place. It has its own library. It has its own, you know, sanctums that connect to other kind of cities and everything. So even as an educational kind of institution, it is its own place. So I don't really think they're gonna allow it to be turned into any kind of like a capital kind of spot or anything like that, like a capitalized educational kind of spot or anything. So I don't know, but I honestly can't even imagine the thought of, you know, having to take out student loans at Kamar-Taj just to learn magic or anything. I think. And I mean, I also like, I think they haven't fully explored the semblance of people wanting to learn the mystic arts in that way either. Like, I think from what I remember, there's been very little background on exactly how people also do discover Kamar-Taj and magic and everything. Because then Stephen wanted to heal himself and he found out about it that way. So then it offers healing, but then it also offers protection and self-defense and all that kind of stuff. But then it's like, if you want to use those powers to help the world and everything, then that's how you do it. So I don't know, just but yeah, I think maybe that might be the verdict that they reach. So then, if Wong's argument might be that like they're not only exploiting magic and harming people in the process, but then maybe then if you do want to do this, then you need to actually learn the mystic arts and study it and actually be qualified and everything. So then they might be like, okay, so then open it up as like an educational institute that people can use. I think he would never be against that, but then I think he might be against it. He might be, and also I'm hoping he would actually be against like actually turning into anything that would be like super duper difficult or financially kind of straining to actually to kind of apply to or anything like that. I think he would be all for people wanting to learn magic, but then I think I'm trusting that he also wouldn't want to put anyone through like a financial crisis or anything in just for trying to do so. So I guess we'll see exactly what kind of verdict they come up with. So yeah. But yeah, I think when she teleported back into Wong's living room again, she did come back in with a heart. So I don't know if that if she was that when she said about the deal, because I think she still said, I think in the courtroom she said she made like a deal to actually to come back home and everything, and then she mentions like something about like the demon saying like, you know, if you tell anyone about this deal, if you try and break this deal, I will reap your soul and the souls of all you love. So I don't know if maybe she ran back into him, or maybe if she made the deal but then she ripped his heart out or something. I don't fucking know, but I don't know. Just either way, she made a deal with a demon to get back home. So, you know, I think that takes some freaking guts and everything, which she apparently kind of ripped out. So, I mean, I don't know if the heart would count as a gut, but still, you get the point. You get the point I'm making. That takes some pretty good, you know, strength and kind of intellect and stuff, which she clearly displays very well. So that's cool. Also, can't help but wonder if her landing in Wong's living room was actually convenient, because then that's still like, assuming he lives in Kamar-Taj still and he has his own like chambers or something. Like, you know, that is still like a really convenient place to land, like landing in the home of the Sorcerer Supreme, the one person who can actually get you back to your actual house and everything. You know, even if you don't remember the address, which he didn't, but then that is still like a really super duper convenient place to land as well. So I don't know if that actually kind of has any kind of semblance, like maybe, because then I don't know exactly what she would even say, because then even if like she said she wanted to go back home, I don't know if Jake would ask her where home was, or like where on earth home was. You know, so then if the demon would actually know to open a portal into the house of the Sorcerer Supreme, or what happened. But I don't know, it just seems kind of weirdly coincidental, like a little bit too coincidental, a bit too coincidental that the one place she would actually kind of land back to is actually the home of the Sorcerer Supreme himself. So I don't know if we should be reading anything into that, but I'm going to remain ever kind of skeptical and everything. So yeah. And then, yeah, we met Madisynn, the amazing, the astonishing, the fucking fantastic Madisynn with two N's and a Y, but it's not what you think. It's not what you think. It took me way too long. It took me far too long to actually understand exactly what she meant by that, because then I was still, almost the entire time I was racking my brain, I was like, what? It's not where I think. So where is it then? It's like, but is it like is the Y not where I think, or is it like a euphemism of some kind, or is it like what is the Y meant to signify here? And then it took me way too long to realize that, oh, it's just like she just means that her version of the name Madisynn is actually sort of different. And I think you'd also probably end up still thinking is it like it actually comes after the D, but then the I is still there, so then it comes after the S. So that's the whole thing. So Madisynn, not just being a funny kind of quirky kind of girl you can actually kind of poke fun at, but then actually kind of being like a cool kind of humorous and very kind of very, very likable kind of character you can actually kind of connect to and actually kind of enjoy watching and everything. And her and Wonga's, Madisynn and Wonga's, the duo we deserved, the duo we needed and deserved. Madisynn and the Wonga's. Never gonna let that go. That's never getting out of my head. That is never ever getting out of my head, and I love it, and I love that for it. I love that for it and everything. So it's super duper cool. And in the end, they end up just chilling. They end up just chilling back at Kamar-Taj, actually watching The Sopranos and everything. I mean, granted, she did spoil it for him like 2 or 3 times, which also annoyed him too. I think he was never annoyed at her or even her kind of landing in his home. He was never annoyed at her for you know, like for being drunk or for actually landing in his home or for doing anything like that. I think he actually identified her as another one of the people kind of exploited and actually kind of endangered by Donny's kind of recklessness using magic and everything. So he actually managed to actually get her to testify to prove that Donny is not someone qualified or safe to actually kind of like be around when he's using magic. So there was that whole thing. But then and again, he was only ever really annoyed with her for spoiling Sopranos. He was kind of late to the party. He was like binging on Netflix. And he after everything he's been through, the most normal thing we've seen him doing is literally actually either going on vacation or even, you know, just dipping whenever trouble comes on. Like anytime trouble comes on, anytime like, you know, strangers doing stuff with Spider-Man, the authorities threatened to arrest him last episode too. Like anytime trouble comes around, he's out of the picture. He's just opening a portal and just whisking himself away. And then this is the one kind of this is the most human thing, the most normal, relatable thing we've seen him doing. Just literally just like lounging back, eating popcorn, drinking, and just binge watching a show that came out years ago on Netflix and everything. Because he finally now has the time after several world-ending events. He finally has the time to spend some time to himself and have some time to himself to invest himself in a good story and to just, you know, just lose himself and everything. So again, the most human we've seen Wong, and he deserves it. He deserves that fucking break. So he's even been working hard on this too. He actually kind of came around on nearly on time to actually kind of help Jennifer with the Blonsky thing too, and he actually helped Blonsky kind of get parole too. So he's actually been around. He's been doing bits. He's been doing his stuff. So this is the first time he actually gets time to himself, and then still someone out there decides to fuck up stuff for him and for someone else too, actually screwing over Madisynn, actually getting her into like other dimensions and everything, and having her land in Wong's house and everything. So ability to actually kind of acquaint himself with Madisynn being proven when they both end up actually at his place, just kind of in pajamas, or she was in pajamas and everything, actually kind of like discussing alcohol, discussing different kind of cocktails and different drinks that they like, and actually watching Sopranos together. Because I think he finally felt like, you know, maybe if he lets her watch with him, then maybe she won't spoil it. I mean, I feel like that's probably not gonna happen. Like she's still gonna be like, oh, this is gonna get the good part. This is where that person dies. This is where that person dies, or anything. So I don't know. But either way, I think he still let her watch with him, so that was cool. And then they just kind of both kind of hung out and, you know, became the besties that the MCU kind of needs right now. So yeah, Madisynn and Wong is the duo we fucking needed. We actually needed in this show, and just kind of going forth into the MCU and everything. So really, I feel like now I honestly can't really watch Wong show up on screen without Madisynn being someone else. I think Madisynn and Wong is now the duo that we have and that we are stuck with, and happily so. So I feel like if we ever see Wong, I'm probably going to end up at least partially thinking about, okay, oh, well, Wong's, that's cool. I wonder how Madisyn's doing. I wonder if he's a Kamar-Taj kind of finishing off like Sopranos, or if he's watching something else, or even actually looking up other shows for them to binge watch together or something. Like her just kind of being the kind of slightly tipsy and buzz kind of party girl that she is, just like who knows how to have fun and knows how to relax. And she's actually kind of she actually cares about people too. She actually cares enough to actually help Wong kind of point out Donny for being the illegitimate magic wielder that he is and everything. So she actually cares about helping people and actually getting shoddy kind of business deals kind of shut down and everything. So she's good. She's good people, and she gets along really well with Wong. So what more could you fucking want? So yeah, that kind of stuff is fun, and what this show is fun. So I don't know, like I mean, people have been finding all sorts of different kind of weird and pointless shit to complain about and be angry about in this. So I've got no doubt that the same people will be annoyed for whatever reason and for however long that Madisynn and Wongers are now a thing. But you know what? It's happening. Get used to it. So Madisynn and Wongers for life. So yeah, that's what we need. That's what we need, and that's what we have. So yeah. Also, even while being drunk, she was aware enough of her situation and her environment, and even intellectual enough and intelligible enough to actually be able to negotiate a deal with a fucking demon to get her back home. She still managed to do that even while drunk. So some people can't even fucking walk to the door straight, and then she still manages to actually, negotiate. I mean, again, I think there's no telling exactly how tipsy was. I feel like part of her personality is clearly shown to be that she's genuinely joyful, she's genuinely compassionate, she's genuinely just kind of fun to be around, and she's genuinely kind of like she actually genuinely does care about you and listen to you and everything. And also like that kind of goes through that she actually is like an actual personable and likable and like a really kind of like a well written and really kind of like funny kind of character as well. So again, I think for that reason I really want to see her and Wongers again. I want to see her and Wongers actually together on screen helping Jennifer if and when the time calls for it too, and both of them just kind of being, I think maybe just both of them being in the background just binge watching Sopranos or something else, and then all of a sudden they get like a call from Jennifer or something saying like, oh, I need your help with this kind of maybe slightly magic related thing, and then they both come in. So she actually does make her feel like a really fun and really kind of likable and really kind of comedic kind of character. And I think again, she definitely does kind of seem like one of those kind of background / supporting characters who are actually who are initially kind of comic relief, but then they actually do make your experience of the series and of the story and everything actually that much better, because then they're that much more kind of personal and that much more kind of human and relatable and everything, and you can connect to them that much more, because then she's also, I feel like she's also genuinely just the kind of person you want as a friend in your life too. Like, she isn't annoying. She's just kind of really kind of like actually kind of outgoing and quite possibly like extrovert and stuff. So if you want like an extroverted friend, then you got Madisynn with 2 N's and a Y, where it's not what you think and everything. So yeah, she's really fun. And she gets along with the Wongers, and they both have just kind of become their own little kind of duo and everything. And like that being the thing too, like they meet because even Wong kind of does know about Donnie's kind of brash and really kind of dangerous kind of magical stunts and everything. So then he's kind of really intent on putting a stop to this once he finds out just how much Madisynn's been through and everything. So then, but then even after that, they're still hanging out and still binge watching stuff and still being pals and everything. Again, fucking A+. So yeah, Madisynn and Wongers for life. So yeah, and then we see Jennifer Walters and eventually then She-Hulk 2 entering the dating world and dating life. And yeah, with Jennifer, needless to say, it's not the most eventful thing in the world. But yeah, Jennifer, I think she just wasn't really hitting it. She was not really hitting it. Like, just no matches, and even the one match she did have, even the one guy she did match with, was just the most fucking boring date I've ever seen in my life on a TV show. Or at least one of them. I think he was obsessed with talking about himself, and then by the time it came for her to talk about herself and her life, he was all of a sudden distracted by his oh so interesting phone, and then just walked away and like just left her to pay for dinner and everything and stuff. So but yeah, it didn't really kind of go that well, and it kind of left her feeling like, okay, so on the one hand she doesn't match, but then on the even worse hand she does match with someone, but then it just turns out to be like even more, like she then probably after that date she probably gets left feeling like she just hadn't matched with anyone at all, and it just stayed that way. So people can still sign up even if they're not desperate for love or searching for love. I think if someone's just curious, and I think even with dating too, I think even if you just want to meet people, and make friendships, and I think that's still like a possible thing through dating apps too. So I think the obviously like the more kind of predominant kind of function is to help you find someone to date and to search for romantic and some connections and stuff. But I think even if you want to make, I think there's definitely been stories of people actually still remaining great friends and everything after kind of dating. Or I actually don't know if that's through straight dating apps or queer dating apps. I'm not really sure. I think because I feel like it's definitely more to do with like queer dating apps that you actually find even platonic connections, and they even actually allow you to kind of to state that you're actually looking for platonic kind of connections too. So I don't know if that actually applies to straight dating too, but I don't know. But as far as I know, queer dating apps and queer dating sites actually do allow you to outright state even if you're not looking for like an actual romantic kind of thing, then you can still kind of find friends and find other people find other queer people like you to connect to and stuff, and build community that way. So that's still cool. So I don't know if that can happen here, but either way, I think for Jen that's not exactly what she actually signed up for. She was actually looking to find someone she could spend time with and actually kind of explore stuff with. So I mean speaking of queer dating too, I think Nikki's kind of passing comment being like, oof, hetero life is grim, like hetero dating and stuff is grim, like that kind of comment, it seems like a very kind of like a, they didn't really kind of linger or hang on to, like it was a very, very passing comment, like she just made it and then it was gone, and it was never really referred to back again either. So I don't think she never really brought it up ever again either. So what exactly is she hinting at or referring to, or even actually foreshadowing here? Like, is Nikki queer? Is she queer? I mean, truth be told, right? It's been a thought in the back of my mind, but I haven't been lingering because I honestly, I still can't really tell if she's saying that as a queer person, if she's actually analyzing straight dating as a queer person and be like, oh, hetero dating is grim, or hetero life is grim, or if she's seeing all of these other profiles on the app and scrolling through and matching and swiping and everything, and then maybe kind of actually looking at all those pictures and all those bios and everything, and then maybe even as a hetero person herself, maybe if she's actually being reminded that hetero dating seems grim or feels grim or something. She also, I feel like they could bring it up again in the sense that Nikki, maybe in the sense that like if even after this, if Jen still kind of fails to find like decent and reasonable men who actually do still want to spend, who actually do want to spend time with her, even after they spend the night and everything, maybe even Jennifer actually being maybe even Jennifer as She-Hulk supposedly still being straight. I mean, we don't exactly know what Jen is, but then even if she is straight, that still would not discount queer women actually still being attracted to her. So maybe even actually showcasing that too, like, okay, maybe you're only attracted to men, or even, you know, you kind of are experiencing straightness for now, but then actually showcasing that, oh, there actually are women out there who are actually attracted to you and stuff, and they actually do kind of, you know, we don't really have many kind of buff, kind of like tall or big or buff kind of superheroines in the MCU either. I think we do have buff women, like buff human women, but then someone like tall and stuff like She-Hulk is like slightly more of like a newer kind of occurrence. So to actually kind of show people of all kind of genders and all orientations and all walks of life actually being attracted to her in that way too, you know, would be kind of like it's a slightly more of an open thing to actually show. But then actually showing men attracted to her kind of does help to kind of actually reinforce the idea that, okay, like a man can definitely be into a masculine woman and still be straight and stuff, you know. So that alone is still good. But then I guess maybe like in the coming episodes, if Jen kind of still updates Nikki on like actually not having any success with men, then maybe she might, maybe she might be like, okay, well, you do know there's actually like an army of women out there who actually just like queer people in general who actually are endlessly attracted to you too, right? So maybe if you're curious about it, then maybe dip your toe in that pool and just see how it goes. So I don't know, but I think just Nikki's comment got me thinking. So these are at least part of my thoughts. So yeah, I guess we'll see how things go. So yeah. But I mean, even then, it's like the idea that Jennifer Walters gets no matches while I guess it's arguable that She-Hulk is the famous one. Like Jennifer is who she is as a human, and as a human kind of loyalty. I think She-Hulk is the actual figurehead that people now recognize and people have now glorified and popularized in their head. So that is I think that being the one that gets matches, I think in that sense it makes sense. But then Jennifer Walters too, she's still gorgeous, she's still amazing, she's a qualified lawyer, she's fucking hilarious, she's gorgeous, she looks like Tatiana Maslany. Why would you why would you not want to date someone that looks like Tatiana Maslany? Like, hello. Have you seen her? She is, you know, so, and even as She-Hulk, she still looks like she just looks like Tatiana Maslany but green. So, you know, it still tracks. But I think, you know, again, I know that the point is that, you know, like the people the men who actually match with her are actually still kind of very, very evidently attracted to She-Hulk and stuff. I think there was that one guy who was like who I think wanted to compare like their kind of their workout stats and everything, like what she could bench press and everything. And there was the other guy who was like a fan who was just like really kind of weird about it. And then the final guy actually we thought was decent up until the very end, like up until the morning after and everything, where he just fully ditched before even having breakfast or anything. So that was like a whole thing. But yeah, I think even as She-Hulk, I think it's like a slightly rockier journey with some pitfalls and everything. So there's that. But even as Jennifer Walters, it's like, again, I mean, she looks so good. I don't know what it is, but she looks so good in baggy suits. So I think I think she probably still has to get used to it because she's being She-Hulk and everything. So I think the baggy suits still only really fit her when she's She-Hulk. But then still, even in Jennifer form, like the baggy suit is there's such a cute look on her. And everything is just so great, it's just so cool and everything. Even in like really baggy pajamas, in the morning after having like a really baggy t-shirt and baggy shorts and everything, just like her baggy pajamas, just your baggy clothes are just like a really, really, really top-notch look. Baggy clothes are just amazing. So I think that guy who did I think because I think again, like I think the majority of his portion of the episode actually kind of showed him actually treating her like an actual person too, like him not really fawning over her, not really kind of actually glorifying her, or even overly kind of talking about how great it was that she was She-Hulk and how he couldn't kind of like how he couldn't believe he was on a date with She-Hulk or anything. But then he actually did kind of treat her like a person. He actually did, even when she left to actually fight demons and stuff, he still stayed behind and he was reading like a feminist book by Roxane Gay on the sofa and everything before she mounted on top of everything afterwards. So there was that. And then the bridal carrying, my god, just a dream, a dream that's just like, you wish it was happening to you instead. But again, that stuff was in the trailers. I think that stuff at least kind of you were allowed to prepare for actually seeing She-Hulk kind of bridal carrying someone. So that was just, gosh, that was cool, wasn't it? That was really cool. But then even then, he still stuck around, he still waited, and then he was still ready and still happy to be there when she returned and everything, and then she took him to the bedroom, and then, I mean, I guess the assumption there is that they did sleep together. The assumption there is probably that they actually did sleep together and stuff, and then she probably transformed back in the morning or something, so... I guess, I mean, this is, there have been countless kind of sex jokes about Hulk and his kind of like what he would be like during sex. Like countless kind of talks about what Hulk would be like during sex. I think that alone is its own discussion. But then I don't know if there's going to be the same kind of discussion regarding She-Hulk too. But I think with this one too, I think they didn't really even mention the show too. I think the only kind of reference we get is it being the morning after and both of them kind of being kind of underdressed and all that kind of stuff, and him having spent the night. So I think the kind of probably the maybe like the safe assumption to make there would be that they did in fact sleep together and everything. So the kind of heartbreaker, the deal breaker or whatever, comes when he leaves immediately afterwards. Like he doesn't even stop to have breakfast. Like he sees her. I think he sees her in Gen form, and then maybe that's what pushes him away too. So then maybe she's been on the news, and she is known to be Jennifer Walters as well as She-Hulk. So then anyone who knows She-Hulk will 99% chance is that anyone who knows She-Hulk will also know that she can transform back into human Jen at will too. She transforms at will, so she has that kind of ease of comfortability when transforming too. But then I think her being Jen, and also her being Jen, her being She-Hulk don't really have that much of a difference either. I think this is the first time we've seen her presenting as She-Hulk in public outside of being a lawyer. So then maybe there's also like a difference in presentation too. Because then as Jennifer Walters, I think we saw her on one day as Jennifer Walters, and it was just a total clusterfuck and everything. So then that kind of left her feeling really moody and disheartened, and actually moved her to try and date as She-Hulk instead. And seeing all the matches come in for She-Hulk actually kind of gave her like a boost of confidence that she might not have had, or maybe like a different kind of confidence that she never would have had. So maybe he was just there for She-Hulk. Maybe he really just was there for She-Hulk. Maybe maybe he only really signed up for She-Hulk, so then he just wasn't really comfortable with actually kind of getting to know her as Jen or something. Or maybe he's maybe bragging rights to maybe him kind of having the ability to brag that he actually spent the night with She-Hulk and walked away from it or something. So I don't know if that's what it would be, but either way, him seeing Jennifer the morning after did kind of deter him and actually prompt him to leave like straight afterwards and everything, and then that kind of put her down and everything too. So I think that then undeniably does kind of maybe even lead her to believe that maybe he actually was only really here for She-Hulk. Maybe that's all he really cared about and everything. So then seeing her as Jen kind of reminded him that she actually has another more human side to her that's closer to what he is and everything. So I don't know, but either way, I think even the partially successful one still kind of ended up kind of just walking away and everything. So. And yes, and then that ending too. So yeah, Jennifer got served. She got served. And I'm pretty sure lawyers can get served too. I'm pretty sure about that. But yeah, she got served over the thingy, the Titania branding thing of She-Hulk. Like apparently She-Hulk was already like a trademarked name by Titania. I think I'm gonna go back and actually check the kind of the shot from that episode. Yes, it said Mary McFerrin as owner of She-Hulk, trademarked by Titania, a company. So that kind of raises some questions. I think so. Apparently, She-Hulk as a name and maybe as like an actual IP or maybe as like an actual kind of as a label has been trademarked already by Titania. I think we know Titania is already she's a social media influencer too. She's an actual influencer who's also superpowered too, like a superpowered influencer. So maybe the actual face of the company, maybe the face of She-Hulk or the face of the company that's owned by Mary McFerrin too. Something. I don't know if they're both the same people. Like maybe if she's the owner and she's also the face of it. I mean that would be pretty cool if she was owner and the face of it too. But I have no idea. I mean, she doesn't look too much like a Mary McFerrin. She looks more like a Titania. But then I don't know. Maybe that's just branding. But either way, so She-Hulk has been trademarked then by She-Hulk by Titania. That's the I think that maybe that might be the company. So I think that does initially read as like She-Hulk by Titania, like maybe a fragrance or something, or maybe like an energy drink, maybe like if they're using She-Hulk as like an actual energy drink kind of thing. Actually branding it as like some kind of consumable item or something. Maybe you could actually branding it as that kind of property. So then and stuff. So then they've trademarked already. So then either that's really old or it's just really quick. Because then Titania met She-Hulk in the first episode, but then Jennifer, and then following that, Jennifer was then dubbed as She-Hulk by the public and the media. But then she never really outwardly claimed it or even actually submitted herself to actually using that name until episode 3. So then it's still been time. So I think if they were really quick, then maybe in that time they took it upon themselves to actually kind of trademark the name She-Hulk, so then maybe that way they could actually get back at her, or maybe they could actually kind of get to her by trademarking it, so then that way if she ever did claim it, then they'd have a reason to actually take her to court and sue her or something. So that just is a kind of a cluster truck of fucks in itself. So we still don't know exactly what Titania is kind of like. I think her being an influencer, like that's what she is and everything. And I think she definitely kind of has superpowers too. So then there's that. But then exactly what her history is and what kind of connection she might have to She-Hulk is also yet to be explored too. Maybe if she's maybe like just really popular, or maybe if she actually wants to, if she's an influencer, then maybe if she wants to actually stir up some drama for clicks. So then maybe if this is their latest move, actually kind of showcasing like a lawsuit against the one and only She-Hulk to try and stir up some public kind of drama against her and public kind of clicks against her and everything. So maybe that could be. Maybe being like, we trademarked this name way before she actually took it, so now she's actually kind of coming up against us and actually kind of trying to take what's ours and everything. But then even the public already kind of claimed Jennifer Walters as She-Hulk too, because Jennifer is the one who can transform and become the She-Hulk that they recognize. I think so. Even then, I think I'm pretty sure like the public were the ones who came up with that name for her and everything too. So. Kind of can't help but wonder maybe if like if they called her She-Hulk because of this, maybe if they did kind of come up with like an energy drink or like come up with some kind of consumable item and then name it the She-Hulk, but then name it after She-Hulk herself and stuff, and actually kind of brand it in her image, and maybe that's where they got it from. Maybe that's why the public came with it. But then it's not that complex of a name for the public to actually come up with it in like a really long time. Like I think they could easily kind of come up with themselves, because then it's literally just the whole the name itself is just a hoax but feminized to fit Jennifer to fit Jennifer a bit better. So then it's not like it would actually take them like an insane amount of time to actually come up with it or anything, and it's not like it requires like a whole kind of brainstorming kind of mind map or whatever. So could still be the fact that they've actually kind of trademarked some kind of property as She-Hulk and actually trademarked it under their ownership and everything. But then maybe either based off of that or maybe even based off of their own kind of understanding of who She-Hulk is, maybe then the public have still kind of branded her as such to fit their own purpose and everything. So more than anything, probably just like a really interesting way to actually kind of bring Titania into the fold and actually kind of bring her back up against She-Hulk again to see what she's all about and to see how this lawsuit goes down and everything. So maybe this would be the first time that Jennifer would have to defend herself. So I don't know if maybe that means that she'd be representing herself, or maybe if she actually kind of asked Pug to help represent her too, because then Pug has also kind of been shown to be like a really trustworthy and really kind of friendly and likable character too, and I think he'd probably be more than happy to actually help She-Hulk kind of maintain her own image and her own kind of publicity and everything. So then maybe he might be willing to help and represent her, or if not, then maybe she can represent herself. I think maybe then if she can successfully represent herself, then maybe then like that might kind of like help her go one step further to prove that she's more than just She-Hulk. She's actually a qualified and experienced and very, very successful kind of lawyer too. So then like a hopefully kind of interesting kind of case to explore, and like a case to kind of like maybe even actually like a way for Jennifer to actually kind of really explore and really kind of solve her any and all remnant kind of identity issues she might have too, because then she's going up a case where her own kind of super identity has been trademarked as like an actual separate kind of property that she's not even being allowed to use now. So then maybe then if she fights for her own right to use She-Hulk as her own name and as her own kind of identity, then maybe that might kind of help her kind of fit into the She-Hulk role a bit more too, and then actually kind of showcase that she actually is a person behind that too. So I don't know, I guess we just have to wait and see. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, I think for the most part, I think that might be it. I think that's pretty much all the notes I have written down, and that's all my kind of initial thoughts on this and everything. So I guess moving forward, we'll see exactly how all of this stuff progresses and exactly what other kind of cases and what other kind of crises that She-Hulk and Jennifer get put through and everything. So yeah, all in good time. So yeah, that was Marvel's She-Hulk Attorney at Law, episode number 4. So yeah, thank you. I think I don't know. I can't remember if this is meant to be 6 episodes too. I'm hoping not, because I honestly, I really would love for this to be more than 6 episodes. I really would actually love. I would honestly love for this one to be more than just 6 episodes. But I guess I probably just have to go back and check it on Google or something. But either way, let me know what you guys thought of it, and feel free to leave a like and comment what your thoughts are on this episode too. For those interested, full-length reaction will be available over on Patreon, so you can go check that over there. And yeah, that is pretty much it. So until the next time, bye bye for now.